Hello everyone, my name is Max and I'm here finally with my September TBR. So couple reasons why I haven't been able to upload in a while. Those are, one is because my books getting shipped here were very delayed. It took a really long time for them to get here, so I didn't want to film my September TBR till I had most of the books with me. And two, because I had to find a time when my roommate was not in the room, and she finally isn't. So without further ado, this is going to be a pretty long video, so let's just get into it. So I decided to participate in the last 2 weeks of the reading quest, and per my usual, I'm going to continue doing the reading quest. I'm just not going to put in points or, battle for anything. If you don't know what the reading quest is, it was a month-long readathon where you could choose one of 4 different paths, and there were reading prompts within those paths, and it is based on this one video game, I think. I don't quite know the video game, but let's just get into it. So I decided to do the mage route, and how this goes is you're allowed to, within your route, you're allowed to just mix up, it's in an order, but you can do read the first book in a series, then read a book that has magic, and then you don't have to go in perfect order, but you can't skip in between routes. Once you're done with one route, then you can go on to the next, and then it's like a square, and then in the middle there are extra reading challenges. So let's do this. So the first book that I read was a side challenge, and it was Animal Companion, and it was read a book with an animal in the title, and I went with The Crane Wife by Patrick Ness. This is about a man who saves a crane, and she turns into this human, and they fall in love and all that stuff. This has confirmed my belief that I'm just not a magical realism person. It's just not my genre. I love Patrick Ness, but I did not really like this book. I thought that it was just magical realism kind of bores me, because a lot of it is just whimsical writing and stuff that happens, but it's not very plot driven, so it kind of bores me. So I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. The next book I read did go towards the mage path and was read a book with magic in it, and I went with Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popovich. This is about two twin sisters, and they have magical powers, and their mother always told them not to tell anyone about it. But when their mother is sent into a coma and then kidnapped, they have to learn more about their heritage and themselves to find their mother. I really liked it. I liked the writing. I think it's a debut author, which is fantastic. It's a great book for a debut author. I liked the plot. I liked the sister dynamic. I loved the chosen family contrasted to blood family. I really enjoyed it. I gave it a 4.25 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was read a book set in a different world from you, and I went with Dividing Eden by Joël Charbonnet. This is about twins who are prince and princess of this kingdom, but they never thought they would have to decide who was going to rule because they had an older brother. But when their father and older brother are murdered in the same night, they have to go through this competition to decide who's going to rule. I honestly had really low expectations for this book. I thought it was going to be very stereotypical, but I was really pleasantly surprised. I really liked the writing. I liked the characters. There were some stereotypes within the plot and the world, but overall I enjoyed it. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. And then I had to read some plays for school, and one of them goes towards mini game, which is a novella or a short story, and so plays are really short, and I went with Dog Sees God. This is about a boy whose dog dies, and he's kind of dealing with finding himself and dealing with the afterlife, and it was okay. It was fine. It was short and not really sweet. It was sad, but I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I don't really know if this goes towards expansion, but I'm gonna count it anyways. And this is just another play, and it is Proof by David Auburn. This is about a girl whose father dies, and her sister is there to pack up the house and everything. And what's funny is I did a scene from this play one time in one of my acting classes, and I had no idea that this was the play that was from, and I had a horrible time because the girl who I was acting with wasn't very good, and I just have bad memories. And I read that and I was like, oh my god, and I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars. Then I read the play Stickfly by Lydia R. Diamond. This is about a family who's at their beach house, and 2 brothers are bringing home their significant others, and it's just family dynamics pretty much, and it was okay. I gave it a 3.75 out of 5 stars. The next book I read was the first book in a series, and I went with The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. This is about a girl who is a clairvoyant in this world, in our world, but set in the way future where magic is real but it is outlawed, and then she is taken by the government. She is sent to Oxford, England, which is like kind of like quarantined, and it turns out there's this whole different race living there, and it's like insane. I feel very neutral about this book. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I gave it about a 3.75 out of 5 stars. It was pretty boring for some of it, but then it got good. So I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on with the series, but overall, I enjoyed it. And then the next book I read was a book based off of mythology, and I went with Vasa in the Night by Sarah Porter. This is about a girl living in an alternative universe, Brooklyn, and she goes to this grocery store and she's trapped in there for 3 days. Once again, magical realism, not the biggest fan. It was okay. I found it really boring. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. And the last book in the Knight or the Mage Quest was a book with a 1-word title, and I went with Asylum by Madeline Rue. This is about a boy who is going to a college prep summer camp sort of thing, and they are staying in an old insane asylum dorm. And I finished it yesterday, so I gotta take that out. But it was okay. I found it kind of boring sometimes. The ending was pretty predictable. It was okay. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars because I like the writing and I like the characters. After I finished the mage section, I decided to go into the knight section, and the first prompt was read a book that starts a series, but the Bone Season can count for that. Then the second one was read a book with the verb in the title, and I went with The Hearts We Sold by Emily Lloyd Jones. This was in the August Owl Crate, and this is about a girl who, it's in a world that demons, like, you can make deals with demons, and they choose a body part that they want, and they will grant you that wish and that deal. And she sells her heart to be able to have enough money to continue at her boarding school. But then she meets a guy who also sold his heart, and they want to defeat the demons so they can be in love or whatever. I mean, actually, so far, I'm enjoying it. I like the writing. I thought it was going to be, like, really, like, stereotypical, like, teenage angst book, but right now it isn't. So we'll see how it goes. The next one is read a book with weapons on the cover, and I don't know why it isn't here, but it should be, and that is God's Grave by Jay Kristoff. This is the second book in the Nevernight series. I'm not going to go into what the Nevernight series is. I feel like most people know about it, so if you don't know, just look it up. It's very good. I actually read that in August. It was I read it right before The Crane Wife. The Crane Wife was the last book I read in August, and I gave it like a 4.4 out of 5 stars. So I'm excited for the second one. Next is read a book with a red cover, and for this I'm going with The Love Interest by Cale Dietrich. This is about two guy spies who are sent to spy on this one girl. One is like a bad boy and one is like a good boy, to try and win her over, but then they both end up falling in love with each other. I've heard only great things. I'm really excited to read it. And the last one in the night section is read a book that it has a movie or TV adaptation. I'm kind of bending the rules for this because the rights have been sold and they are working on a television show, and that is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series. This follows Cale during the events of Empire of Storms. I'm excited. Once again, I bought it. It isn't here yet. It's fine. And I'm super excited. So I am going to then talk about, because I have already finished one of the lines, I'm now going to go down, I think, the Bard section, and the first prompt is read a book with a TV or film adaptation. Once again, that is Tower of Dawn. And then a fairy tale retelling. It's not really a fairy tale, but I'm gonna go with Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. This talks about like Wonder Woman when she was like in high school. Once again, I also bought it. It isn't here yet. It's okay, I'm not on that trail yet. But I am super excited. I've only heard fantastic things, and I think I'm going to love it. And then the next book is read a book with striking typography, and I'm going with Sanctum by Madeline Rue. This is the sequel to Asylum. I'm not gonna say what it's about because those are spoilers, but like I love that they're like the whole series are like black and gray covers, but then the title is like a color, and I really like that. So I'm excited. I don't have it like on me because it is in my pile of books I need to read for school, but it is read a book that is translated from another language, and I am going with The Odyssey by Homer, originally translated from Greek. And then the last book on this section is read a banned book, and for this I'm going with The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. I have not read this yet. I don't know what prompted me to buy it. Maybe it's because The Book of Dust like recently came out or is coming out. I really don't know what this is about. I've only seen the movie, and I hear the movie is completely different from the book, but it follows a girl named Lyra in this world where they have daemons, which are like part of their spirit is in an animal, and she has to stop this bad guy, and I'm pretty excited though. And one more side quest that I'm going to be doing definitely is multiplayer, and that is buddy read a book, and I'm going with the Iliad by Homer because, I mean, it's a class of 25. How is that not buddy reading a novel, right? But I'm pretty excited. I'm currently reading this. It's good. I love the Odyssey. I read the Odyssey in 10th grade, and I thought it was fantastic, and I'm super excited to read this, to continue with this one. And then the last book I'm going to be talking about, I also don't have it with me, and it's really annoying me, is the third book in the Wheel of Time series called The Dragon Reborn, and this is going to go for Grind, which is read a book over 500 pages. I'm excited to start reading it. It's a little bit later in the month than I usually start reading these books, but hopefully I can still do it. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. I'm so sorry this is coming so late. I'll see you next time. Bye!